Hey everyone, we are glad to have you with us today. And if you are watching this webinar on demand, you are also very welcome. Please share with us on the chat if you can hear and see us well. And while doing so, please remember to choose the option send to all so that not only organizers and speakers could see your messages. We have a really interesting, great discussion today on ASO must-haves for 2023. And we'll make a particular emphasis on artificial intelligence, the hottest topic today, the hottest trend, custom product pages, we can't live without them now. And A/B testing, of course, good old A/B testing. And now I see, hello, Lara, hello, Kate. Please feel free to greet all of us and interact on chat. And as I see, you guys are connecting right now, and more and more people are joining us today. So let's just, before we start, let's find out what geographies do we cover today. So please share, don't hesitate to share where you are watching us from. So let's see, always interesting. Oh, wow, guys, there are so many of us, you're so active. So Finland, Sweden, USA, Serbia, London, Cyprus, Argentina, Canada, Spain, Prague, Romania, Toronto, Lithuania, Poland, Greece. Oh, welcome guys, Ukraine, Switzerland, France, Canada. Welcome on board. Thank you so much for sharing such an international team we are having today. I'm really happy. Really a worldwide panel, we could say so, we're having today. So thank you so much for sharing, and let me once again welcome everyone. We are happy to have you here at SplitMetrics App Growth panel. As you know, SplitMetrics is a global company offering an ecosystem of enterprise-grade products and services that help mobile businesses to, sorry for tautology, to build their growth engine. And we are an official Apple success partner with our products SplitMetrics Acquire. So let's start. 2023 is predicted to be an unprecedented one. Mobile app businesses are facing challenges such as, unfortunately, economic slowdown, globally rising inflation, tightening data privacy regulations, return to real life experiences after the pandemic, and this all could lead to budget cuts, revenue drops, and an urgent need for ROI approved solutions. All these factors are forcing app marketers to lean on organic and really effective channels that could help mobile developers and publishers to reduce costs. So we have decided to have this app growth panel to help ASO professionals and mobile marketers, growth experts around the globe to reinvent their organic growth strategies. And my name is Lina, you know, I'm from SplitMetrics, and let me introduce our special guest today. So Simon Tilley, and by the way, we have an App Growth Talks episode with Simon. You can check it on our blog. Simon, you must know him. He's head of ASO at AppTweak. He leads an international team of ASO experts providing analysis and insights on advanced ASO for top apps across a variety of categories and multiple countries. Welcome, Simon. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Lina. Thanks for having me back. It's great to speak to so many people again, and looking forward for some great topics today.
I'm looking forward as well. And let me introduce Luis Bueno, ASO Senior Strategist at King. Luis is an experienced ASO specialist with a true passion for mobile gaming. With over 7 years of experience in digital marketing, he leads the ASO strategy for awesome King's games, optimizing App Store listings and implementing testing strategies. Welcome, Luis. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me and for inviting me. I'm a bit overwhelmed with so many people in the call, but hopefully this is useful for them and we have fun too all together.
This will be useful for sure. And yes, let's have fun all together. Such a great international team again. And we also have our SplitMetrics in-house experts. Let me introduce Yulia Kostoleva, ASO team lead at SplitMetrics agency in particular. She's an ASO team lead with more than 6 years of experience in the mobile app industry. Yulia has a proven track record of helping app developers and publishers across different verticals and geographies improve their app rankings. And that's one of the key things I think you will agree on the app stores. And of course, the conversion rates. Yulia, hi, thank you for joining us.
Hi, thank you for introducing me. I have a great feeling that today is going to be like amazing webinar. Thank you very much.
Great, awesome. And last but not least, Alex Laptonak, Customer Success Team Lead at SplitMetrics. Alex has more than 5 years of experience in the mobile industry, and at SplitMetrics, he helps top app publishers create long-term growth engines using innovative software solutions and services. Hi, Alex.
Yeah, hi guys. Hi, Alina. Thank you so much for having me. Hope to share with you very interesting insights today. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, guys. And we have introduced ourselves, but and we are ready to go, ready to start. But before we start, I wanted to clarify just a few things. We are recording the session today, and so we'll be sending it out. So no worries. We'll send it to all registrants shortly after the panel. I think it will be tomorrow or even probably today. So. Of course, we will cover today a number of interesting questions, but you guys feel free to ask your questions on the chat. We'll have a Q&A session in the end, but anyways, probably we will also answer your questions on the go. So before we start, I also wanted to ask our audience about the most I know, valuable ASO trends in 2023. So I wanted to ask our team to launch the poll to take a look. So you can see what ASO trends do you see the most value in? Guys, vote. Let's see what you believe in, what you find effective. And meanwhile, Simon, I think we could start with you. What are the most common challenges your customers at AppTweak are facing these days, and what trends do you usually recommend to implement to basically overcome these challenges? Could you please share?
Yeah, I'd say the biggest challenge is to better understand how to speak to customers. I think with the different big trends you've named, AI, personalization, A/B testing, like to me, personalization is the most important one. It goes much beyond ASO. And ever since we got custom product pages and custom store listing, there's been a tremendous opportunity to really improve what we do. But it's also putting a lot of pressure on marketing organizations as a whole, because you can't build 35 custom product pages overnight. And so in practice, the challenge is going to be how to navigate the data available to you. There's a lot of data, but navigate which pieces are useful to first identify relevant user personas. Second, prioritize which custom pages you should build first. Third, determine what to actually show in those pages. And fourth, and last but not least, measure the impact it has. So in a way, the personalization aspect has given us the opportunity to start doing ASO all over again, but this time it's building a cross-channel strategy first and then doing ASO for every single branch of the strategy instead of having one page for everyone. So with the other trends, I think, for instance, that's where AI is going to be very useful. I think it's great to push research or to save time. I do think you still need to have a human operator to separate quality results from noise, but there's a lot to do, and I think the game has gotten much faster.
For sure, 100% agree with you, Simon. Thank you. And I'll jump in a bit. You mentioned deciding about custom product pages, and I wanted to let the audience know that we have recently launched a CPP intelligence tool where you basically can track all custom product pages, all active CPPs of competitors. So probably someone from our team will share on the chat. So please feel free to try it out. Yeah. And Yulia, what trends does SplitMetrics agency you represent observe when working with clients? What probably you could share, what are the most common requests and goals clients now want to achieve when turning for help to our agency? Could you please share with us?
I think the most popular word is, because it's 2023, it's AI. And since ChatGPT was launched, we've seen a huge amount of many apps that came to market with AI. And they already have like some kind of AI-powered features. I also think that the number of such apps is only going to be increased. For us, it means that some of AI chatbots and assistant apps, I think many of you know some art and avatar generation app, etc., and become our clients. And actually, it's like a lot of apps come to us, and we created many ideas about that, and they became our client. And we at SplitMetrics agency made a bunch of competitive app audits, and I think we now know all the AI assistant apps icon, meta description by heart. And what most of the apps now stick for us is just staying ahead of competitors, but they also know that they can achieve that with the help of the personalization and using it to target their specific audience, something like that.
Yeah, interesting. Thank you, Yulia, for sharing. And Alex, I want to bring you here as well. Being a seasoned app growth expert in A/B testing, you must know a lot about what ASO experts are experimenting with and how they approach app product page conversion rate optimization. So what are your predictions for 2023?
Yeah, sure. To be honest, it's a very interesting question. And in my opinion, with economic turmoil and increasing competition for app downloads, marketers need to make data-driven decisions more than ever. Yeah, for sure. It means that A/B testing is the best, I think, option for them to understand what works best for the target audience and what works worse. Yeah. So, for example, just imagine app creative assets such as icon, video preview, or screenshots are the most crucial attention-grabbing elements. Yeah. And the task of their creation can be overwhelming. But however, if you come up with several hypotheses, you can A/B test them all, yeah? So, and by doing so, you can gain insight into which elements spark the greatest user engagement and conversion rates for sure at the end. So with careful analysis of the results of this test, I think that app marketers can identify what should be changed to drive more app downloads. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Alex. And Louis, I'm excited what you can share here. What ASO trends do you see the most value in? What new ASO strategies, tactics, and approaches are you planning to implement over the coming, not 12 months, but okay, this year in 2023? And also, what obstacles or like challenges do you see might stand between you and success? But I believe you will overcome them for sure.
Oh, I have to say, first of all, that it's challenging to talk the last with these colleagues. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to say something new. But in terms of trends, I'm looking forward to see what's new in the consoles. So we've seen already the changes in Google last week. Apple also added the benchmark, and probably this is more of a wish, but let's see if we can see some improvements in the product page optimization feature. Also, definitely this year in terms of user personalization, custom product pages, and customer store listing, this is probably the year where we are going to see more broad strategies. I think it's interesting already some of the examples we've seen with a combination of CPPs and Apple search ads and how they target different audiences. Definitely with AI, see how that evolves. It feels that we will need to do a webinar every month to see how that progresses, because it goes super quickly, but that is going to be definitely very useful. In terms of our strategies, or in terms of our tactics for the next year, it's a bit difficult to be innovative at Kin because we've been there for a year, so difficult to find something new. I think we are going to try to focus on localization and also using new tools and new ways of reporting to get insights and see how we can localize the different markets. And we also do what we call multivariant tests, where we basically combine different elements so that we know they've been performing well and try to do different combinations to see if that performs well.
Yeah, thank you, Louis. You know, it's all about hands-on experience and your personal professional take on. So very interesting, no matter that you were the last. Thanks for sharing. And before we move on to the next topic, you guys, I believe, didn't forget that we ran a poll. So let's check the results. Let's see it on screen now. Oh, wow. So user journey personalization heads the list, but AI-powered technology and A/B testing are really close. So we could even say, I think these 3 trends are sharing the first place. Then comes in-app content promotion, and video content is the last one. So, you know, Simon mentioned personalization as one of the key trends, and it won here in our poll. And basically, this is our next topic. This is not a groundbreaking discovery that tailoring a product page assets to the target audience specific needs leads to higher app visibility, conversion rates, installs, and so on, and eventually ROI. Personalization is the key to your user's heart, I think we could say so. And we see personalization capabilities become more and more advanced across major app stores. Now I think our experts will share some real life examples and success stories. You guys, I mean, our audience, we would love to see your stories as well, if you could share something on chat. And meanwhile, let's launch our new poll and learn if you are using CPP or CSL for your app. I mean, custom product pages or custom store listings. Let's see. Vote. That's interesting. So, well, you guys are voting. I think we can't wait, and let's discuss this topic. So, Simon, in your recent articles on App Store optimization trends and challenges, you stated that 2023 could also be a year in which more growth experts start experimenting with custom product pages as a user attribution and performance measurement proxy. This was basically the quote. So the question is, Do you see an increased interest in the App Store's functionality among your clients now? And are there any case studies you could share with us today?
Yeah, I mean, for the first question, the interest, definitely I see a lot more interest because I think in 2022, we had to educate clients a lot about the benefits of custom pages. And even if the principle was interesting to them, there was still the having to figure out which approach to take and how to properly go from an idea to delivering a CPP and measuring the results. In 2023, I feel like I don't have to say the word CPP. I have clients ask about CPPs and CSLs for Google on their own and actually put pressure on how fast can we get to something. And that's where we also need to kind of get everyone on board on how to build a process for it. And that's kind of a case study I can share. And it's that something we did last year with one of our clients, namely SoundCloud, was that we first started by trying to come up with new user insights by mining the App Store and Play Store reviews. We've actually built our own AI model to help us identify topics. And what we found was that in all the positive reviews, there was a certain amount that were explicitly mentioning how SoundCloud is great because you can skip as many tracks as you want. And it's something we realized was available to everyone, whereas most of their competitors restrict the feature to subscribers only. So based on that, we came up with a CPP that would highlight the particular benefit and used it with Apple Search Ads to target competitors' brands. And we had great results because I think the campaign CVR increased by almost 60%, and the average cost per install was reduced by around 40%. So it was a massive win on the board.
Indeed, yeah. Thanks for sharing, Simon. And Yulia, what about SplitMetrics agency experience? How do you approach personalization when working with clients?
Well, interesting question. Of course, we think that personalization is really important thing. To begin, I want to start with one of the important points everyone, I guess, has been talking about for a few years already. It's localization. Okay, it's not a trend, but I want to highlight it again that we, as ASO specialists, as user acquisition specialists, and as marketers, we know that by some research that 65% of users, or about it, prefer content on their mother tongue. To manage of localization is to speak to apps target audience, because we know that users' behavior is very greatly from country to country. It depends of really different things. We all know that, for example, in game development sphere in Asia, they prefer one kind of screenshot, another kind of titles. We know it depends of many economic landscape, culture, with you know, it's in some countries there are different languages and traditional political structure. In some countries they prefer one kind of color, in another ones they prefer different one, another combination of colors. Of course, we all research every single point of them, and when we localize caption of screenshots or app description, it led a significant conversion rate. We have like many tested, and we probably know it for sure. Also, a few years ago, Google Play introduced custom store listing to customize app title, short and long description, icon, screenshot, video, and provide a more personalized and target experience for users. And however, as ASO and ASO are closely related, with app downloads increasing from custom product page and keywords ranking also improve. And of course, ASO and user acquisition team were working really closely every time. Like, I guess we have like many common chats, channels, and so on. And team are always sharing the best practice with each other to achieve best results. They implementing our ASO best practice in custom product page. Sometimes we also analyzed apps review to find the features user likes the most and provide it to UAT with the insights or the features that should be highlighted with custom product page, and the user acquisition team doing the same for us. They will like sharing, like, guys, we found this something really cool from ASO Apple Show Chats. Like, we have a really cool keywords. You want to try it? Maybe we could work with it together. And on the other hand, the user acquisition team shared insights gained from the custom product pages, like the best performing keywords, the best performing screenshot, and we use them to improve ASO for app using these elements for product page optimization. So it's like a daily by daily collaboration that I'm really proud of.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Yulia and Luis. I want to bring you here. Could you please share your experience with custom product pages, from creating to implementing, launching these CPPs and strategies you're sticking to? And probably you could share a piece of advice who are still considering, with those who are still considering using custom product pages and personalizing their user experience this way.
Yeah, sure. So I think last year was for us more a year of learning to understand what were the chances and the possibility. Definitely this year we're still learning. I think in ASO you never stop learning, but it's probably the year where we are more focused into user journey optimization. In terms of tips, I would say, and in terms of how we use it to, we move a bit from starting slowly with maybe the first impression, only updating the first screenshot, see how it works, now to moving more to the whole funnel, so updating everything, the video and all the screenshots, and see what the difference between both approaches. In terms of tips, I think it's kind of like basic, but when you create a customer store page, you need to think about who you are creating it for, your audience, and do that bit of a research and based on data when you create that. And also a small one would be also to test how flexible you can be when you create one in terms of like your assets, how branded they are or how marketing they are, because of the guidelines, you really need to show what is in the app and like the gameplay, if it's a game, or what is happening in the app, but also to test with how flexible you can be to show the promotions, or to show more like branded assets and not really what is happening in the app. Our rule usually is like at least 60% of the asset you have there should really focus on what is happening in the app, and then the rest you can be a bit more flexible.
Interesting percentage. Thank you so much for sharing, Luis. And as I promised, we are having questions on the chat, so let's take a look at one of them. I think I saw one from Sene. I'll read it aloud now. I feel like the biggest trend I saw in recent years is the move from something that used to be similar to SEO. We have a meme at this point, to something more similar to CRO, conversion, A/B testing, etc. Do you think keywords, ratings, rankings, and reviews will still be important to ASO, or will it be more and more similar to CRO as App Store marketing moves closer and closer to paid ads? Well, Simon has started, I saw, answering on the chat, and also Nicole shared their opinion that ASO is now like ASO 2.0, which I completely agree. And Simon, you probably have something to add here to your answer.
Yeah, I like the question because it shows mostly how we are still struggling in ASO to decide if we like the name or not in the end. I remember last year, Anton Tatarinovic, who's now at SplitMetrics, started the debate early saying we should stop calling it ASO. And I think the reality is just we have to see how App Store optimization doesn't mean search engine optimization, and there is a search engine in the App Store, but the App Store has other parts to it. And so to me, I like ASO 2.0 as well as a way of mentioning it, but the way I see it is that you should not think there's components to ASO and just give one person the responsibility to handle one component and work in silos. I think overall marketing is trying to break silos rather than build more. And that's where, to me, the whole point is to say, no matter where people start from, if your product is an app, I know very few people, even here at AppTweak, who know how you could download an app without going to the App Store. So based on that, I feel like it's not so much a question of are we doing more keywords or more creatives or more reviews. It's more like what can we look at and just build a cycle where we learn from each part and just always keep adding new things. So like you could test new copy in your screenshots and try to see if there's actually keywords that work well with that. You could learn from reviews at like the case study I mentioned, what you should be promoting, etc. So there's really a lot to do. And the overall lesson for me is really this idea that App Store optimization is everything in the store. So same when people say custom product pages are not ASO, my counterpart is what are they in that case, because they're literally in the store. So it's not like you build a website without knowing what's going on outside either. So it's just a question of how you want to approach it.
Yeah, thank you so much, Simon. I totally agree. And ASO and ASA and PDUA, it's all interrelated now. It's like part of growth, I would say so. And we have touched the topic of ASO versus SEO, and I can't but share a meme with you. I've just dropped on chat a meme about ASO versus SEO. Hope you will love it because I know it totally relates to many ASO specialists. And the second link, you could check all our hilarious mobile marketing memes. And before we'll move on to our next topic, let's check our responses to our poll number 2. So Magic will. Oh, okay. Are you using, again, I'm reminding you of the question, are you using CPP, CSL for your app? Yes, wow, almost 60% of our audience are already using this great opportunity. That's huge, guys, awesome. Keep it up. 23% are not doing that yet, but planning to develop them soon. And well, I believe our panel today will be really helpful and will bring value before you start out. And 9% are still hesitating, and I hope you guys as well will make you believe that this your chance to you should grab now, because you see 60% are already using, your competitors are already using this personalization, these custom product pages and custom store listings. So have you got any questions? You can drop them on chat or reach out to our experts or from SplitMetrics, also to Simon, Lewis after the panel. and get our advice on starting out with CPP. So the next topic we are going to cover today is AI-powered technology for ASO. A lot has been said today about AI, and recently, in a few months, I think you already checked a lot of buzz news about that. So now all of us are witnessing a heated debate about it once again. And while one part of the global professional community is enjoying its obvious benefits, like spare time, quicker options, and so on, others are concerned about intellectual property rights and its potential impact on humanity. As a rule, mobile industry professionals are turning to their AI tool to find cost-effective and time-efficient ways to automate their organic marketing activities. So my question is for both the audience and our seasoned experts: are you using AI currently, and how does it help you improve ASO? So you guys, as usual, can start answering on the chat. I'm turning to Simon now. Simon, how does AppTweak team, your team, ASO team in particular, how do you use AI tech, and what benefits for ASO you are already observing, if you are using that, of course?
We do use it, and I would say we use it quite a lot, but also we build it sometimes. And that's where I'd say in the end, there's mainly two types of use, in my opinion. First one will be when just wanting to use generalist AI tools like ChatGPT, and by that I mean tools that have been built on very large data sets, but also not on particularly focused data sets. The main value for these tools is going to be saving time. And that's definitely not something that should be underestimated. We just talked about the amount of personalization there is to do. So when you need to go fast, AI can be great for that. And so, for instance, I've personally used ChatGPT to try and come up with variations of text to put on screenshots. It's very practical because I think brainstorming myself or with a team, it takes 30 minutes to an hour. Maybe we can hope to still be a bit better at it, but is it really that impactful to spend 30 minutes or an hour with multiple people when an AI can give you 90% of the value you would get in just 30 seconds. And so here, that's really where I see the value of these tools. And the one place where I stay cautious about AI, or rather cautious about the generalist tools that are free for everyone, is when it comes to doing tasks that are more specific to App Store optimization. So I've already mentioned how, for instance, we've built a model to analyze user reviews. One thing we had realized with asking ChatGPT to summarize reviews is that actually ChatGPT is not going to read your store reviews, or even if you feed your store reviews, it will also use what it knows of your app. So it may come up with elements that are not in the corpus of text you're actually interested in. And same with keywords, actually. ChatGPT is based on, is built on natural language processing, but that has been trained over different types of text. And that's where what I would call the overall AI we've built at AppTweak, which we call Atlas, is a model that we've trained only based on text that's in the App Store. And what we found is that the words used in the App Stores don't always match how we use them in the physical world. The example I love to give is the difference between run and running. For any English speaker, the natural reflex would be to say these are the same words. If you actually search for run and search for running in the store, you will find very different apps, because run is actually associated to games, when running is associated to run tracking apps. And so here, I still think there's a great value in AI, but then the challenge is really to simply make sure that you understand what the AI is trained on. Because if you're looking to have insights on what are relevant keywords on the App Store, this last part of the sentence is actually what's going to drive saying, I need my own model, versus I can turn to something that will just be able to quickly summarize what I want.
Oh, wow. So you have your own like in-house AI helper, right? Atlas. Interesting. Yeah. And what you've just told us is, I think, just another evidence that AI can't work just independently without human touch, without like understanding the context only human brain is capable of. So yeah, interesting example with Ryan, and thank you. Thank you, Simon. And Luis, I wanted to ask you, could you please describe how you integrated artificial intelligence into your ASO strategy at King, and which, I don't know, specific AI, there are a lot of them apart from ChatGPT, probably what specific AI technologies have been most effective, most valuable for you?
Yeah. So first of all, as a kind of personal opinion, I see a lot of benefits with applying AI to our processes, but I also feel that we may be going too fast. So I think at some point we may need to just slow down a bit and think how we use it to probably not impact negatively also the experience of the users. But you could use AI together with ASO in many ways. So for example, if you are not a very creative person, as I'm not, it's really helpful to do the creative briefs and to help you formulate your ideas in a more creative way, or even if you use an image generator, kind of create a draft that you can work with designers to kind of express better the idea you want to propose. Also, definitely in terms of competitor analysis, you can try to ask for a competitor app and ask, okay, what is the unique value proposition? What is the type of audience they are targeting, and come with ideas that you can test also in your app. Definitely for ideas, captions, ideas for screenshots or CTAs, that's very good. And also, I think the future is going to be more to integrate with your data and see what kind of suggestion can give you AI based on your performance. I've seen already some tools that what they do is to tell you, okay, from your assets, it's probably this character or this element of the game or this specific structure of the video that works better with your users.
Thank you. Very interesting indeed. Thank you, Luis. And Yulia, what about our agencies, SplitMetrics agencies professionals? Do you use ChatGPT or AI?
I think there's a lot of AI tools, and I guess me and my team, we already try a lot of like in Notion, AI, Midjourney, ChatGPT. I think into things. First, it's to collaborate with each other because it helps to speed up. Yeah, like Simon already told, it's help us to create email. It's help us cooperate with each other to help us to write down some wrappers or something like that. And another one thing, it's for inspiring, because it's a great way to ask AI about, what do you think about the best idea to promote this app? What do you think about the best keywords? Okay, of course, it will never, I think for now, it's AI is not the best way to say it, never. But for now, I think AI is just like a great tool for every ASO specialist. It will can help you to create like a good titles for screenshots. Just an idea. It's not the reason that we're gonna use it. I don't think it's ChatGPT or any other AI will help you to find the great keywords or create a great meta, but it will give you pretty good ideas to think about it, maybe because it will search in the internet much more better than you. Yeah, so we use it a lot and we really like it. It's really helps us to speed up and find new ideas.
Yeah, thank you, Yulia. I also believe you can find some ideas in ChatGPT. For example, I'm using it when I'm thinking about some article titles or something like that, and it provides a bunch of options to choose from. Yeah, and Alex, I want to bring you here as well. I want to ask you about AI and A/B testing. And A/B testing, by the way, will be our next topic as well. So the question is, how is AI-powered technology impacting A/B testing approaches, and what benefits have you seen from using these technologies?
Yeah. To be honest, I think that is one of the hottest questions. Shortly, yes, it works. Yeah. So in terms of A/B testing, AI creatives asset creation is now easier and faster, as Yulia said. So, for example, you can ask DAL-E2 or Midjourney to create various icons depending on your hypothesis, yeah? And for sure, at the end, A/B test what icon works best for your target audience and which one works worse. So AI is now used in most mobile marketing solutions. AI algorithm can help app developers and marketers generate any kind of paywall designs and determine the most effective paywall type, such as hard, premium, hybrid, or others. Yeah, and while also running the pre-launch test or any kind of apps with some of seasonal hypothesis. Yeah, so it works. Just like one of the very quick example, one of my clients on pre-launch stage, so they are not live yet in real store, they just tried to create the description section for their app. So the one of them was from the ChatGPT. Another one that they created internally. And after A/B test, we saw that the variation with the description from ChatGPT in terms of conversion rate, it was increased by 25%. So it's like a very good example how it works in terms of A/B testing and AI.
Yeah, thank you so much, Alex. Thank you all of you guys for sharing your insights. Really interesting. Again, the topic is hot. And now I'll ask our team to display the results of poll number 3 dedicated to artificial intelligence. Oh, and it's already there. Yep. So almost 60% again are using artificial intelligence for text and description creation. Well, pretty fair. Yeah. 25% use for meta keywords mining, and 25% more don't use AI-powered solutions. Guys, please share on the chat why don't you use AI? You don't believe in it, or you are cautious about artificial intelligence since it's something new and we still don't know much about it. Please share in the chat who answered this question. And also 16% use artificial intelligence for visual assets generation, Midjourney, I guess, and 8 and 9% for reporting and insights, user review management. That's what was mentioned above. Thank you so much, guys, for answering. Always interesting, you know, for me personally, and I think for everyone. Well, we have about 10 minutes left. Thank you, guys, for being such an active audience. Keep it up. And our next topic is A/B testing best practices for 2023. Now, I won't delve too deep into why A/B testing is important. I think most of us already have come to the understanding why it's crucial for app marketers now. So, Alex, as I promised, I will ask you about A/B testing now. Could you please share some A/B testing best practices for 2023, and what overall, is there any framework for A/B testing or something to be guided by?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. I really like this question. I think that everybody knows that A/B testing is a complex process, right? And to validate app or game ideas, features, or maybe functionality. So A/B testing allows you to observe how the traffic you receive behaves. Yeah. So for example, if you created a product page that performed worse than the original version, that might tell you what your audience doesn't like. So you can understand what features they like, what visuals they are attracted to. So A/B testing framework consists of 8 main stages. The first one, and one of the most important, I think, that this is the research for sure. Then it could be ideation, hypothesis forming, task variations, yeah, experiment design, result analysis, finding, sharing, and at the end, also the last one, but not least, you need to back to the hypothesis building stage. Yeah. So I want to comment all on these stages. Just want to highlight that in mobile marketing, everything starts with the research. It consists of market research, competitive research, and audience analysis. So based on that, new ideas for testing can be generated, yeah, and hypotheses can be formed. So also all the latest ASO benchmarks and mobile trends can be found in our SplitMetrics report. So also, I think that in a few weeks, we'll publish the new one, so stay tuned.
Very interesting. Thank you so much, Alex. And yeah, what I wanted to quickly cover a question I saw on chat because it's about ChatGPT. We have already discussed. So, Luis, I wanted to ask your take on this question. Whether I'm looking for it. AIs like ChatGPT are not able to get real-time data from the app stores, rankings, downloads, etc. I assume that at some points AIs will be able to do this. When do you think this will happen? How will it affect ASO analytics and ASO in general? So I wanted to ask your opinion, Luis.
From what we are seeing, I think it's going to happen very, very soon. And probably next month in the next webinar, we will be talking already about that because it's going to be available. It's going to happen very, very fast. In terms of how it's going to affect, I think it's all benefits. I'm a big fan of having more data in analytics, and also I think that will also help us to value the work of ASO specialists and maybe work better in collaboration with other departments to be able to compare more data. The more data we can have for what we do, the better definitely for our job and for ASO in general.
Yeah, thanks, Luis, and great idea for the next webinar. I'm making a mental note for that. Yes, and since you're already talking, I will ask you about how do you at King advise to implement A/B testing tactics for ASO efforts? How are you working with A/B testing, basically?
I agree with Alex, and I think the framework Alex was mentioning is great. To summarize, is research, hypotheses, and goals, creating the assets and doing the brief, and then doing the analysis and see if you can implement the changes or not. I think I would like to stress again the importance of probably the first two stages of doing a good research, both internal with your data and external with trends, something the competitors are doing, and also making sure you create a good hypothesis and set the KPIs at the beginning. Probably if you do that part well, even if at the end of the test you don't have a winner, it will be a lot easier to redo the test and create another hypothesis, or at least dig deeper in that way. But those two stages at the beginning, it takes time, especially the first time you are doing a project, but this is quite important.
Yeah, thank you so much. So we have so many insights today, such an awesome active audience. So we have only 5 minutes left, and I would like to cover so much more. But let's to keep in mind what we have discussed today. Let's quickly share some key takeaways we gained from today's app growth panel. And so, Julia, I suggest we start with you. Could you please share yours?
Well, let me see. Well done. ASO is a solid foundation to acquiring high-quality users across various channels. At the same time, paid user acquisition also has a huge impact on app visibility. We also should agree with it. And installs that lead to better keywords ranking and more organic traffics. It's better for both sides, for ASO and for user acquisition team, to work together, like in SplitMetrics agency are always doing. For example, for our recent client, our user acquisition team ran an Apple Search Ads discovery campaign that helped ASO team find large numbers of meta keywords for app's title. Is it worth mentioning that these titles were not displayed by the most popular ASO automation tools, and it is because it was like a niche app. As a result of this, your UA and ASO synergy, the volume of installs grew by 35%. Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, very quick.
Yeah,
very quick.
So far, the most important trends for 2023 are personalization and ASO and paid user acquisition synergy, because it's how it's worked.
Yeah, thank you, Julia. And Simon, could you please share your key takeaways for ASO must-haves in 2023?
I think Julia said it all already, but maybe one takeaway I really liked from Lewis is the being not being afraid to test, but also being smart and cautious about AI. And one thing that came to my mind as Lewis was explaining is also how another challenge we'll get with AI, I think, especially on the creative side, is the risk of everything looking the same. And like, that's one thing I'm a bit worried about, as I saw just today that Google has released the prompt system to help people create descriptions for their custom store listings. And that reminded me mostly how in movies, for a long while, animated movies, everyone decided they wanted to have Pixar style images. And then a few years ago, the Sony animated movie Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse brought very different graphics, and suddenly all animation studios are requesting this kind of art now. And that feels like the real one of the additional risks with AI. So I think that Lewis is really right in saying we need to still rely on understanding users and on still having a human person challenge what is a real creativity in what we produce, because that, like, we produce for humans, we don't produce for other AIs.
Thank you so much, Simon. And Lewis, do you have to add something, or everything is pretty much covered, but probably you have a few points in mind?
It's difficult to add more things, but yeah, I agree with all that it's been said. I would say just even if we have AI, we have all the trends. I'd say the framework in ASO is not going to change much because we are going to have much help, but kind of the base of the work we do is not going to change much. The see that they see more is like being more open to collaboration with other marketing and not being so enclosed in ASO, just be more an open role for us, even more than it is now, to collaboration and to work with other profiles.
Thank you, Luis. And Alex, probably you'd like to add something, or we could finish up. How do you feel about
sure.
it?
Yeah, very, very shortly, because I think that's already overtiming. So, in my opinion, the main key for us today in terms of ASO, AI, ASA, SEO, etc., is the data. Yeah, the data as we have in our head. So whether you are doing ASO or paid UA campaigns or retention, I'd recommend, from my part, for sure, A/B test everything to obtain as many insights as possible to achieve the best possible results. And in SplitMetrics Optimize, we have such functionality to do that. You can not only test your product page or any elements on your product page, but your competitors as well. For sure, we need to understand how it works on your competitor side, their data, their conversion rate, for sure to get more insights and to try to develop your app, and at the end to get more installs for your specific app.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much, Simon, Luis, Alex, Yulia, for sharing such sometimes eye-opening insights and examples. Very interesting for me personally. And thank you, our lovely audience. You are so amazing today. Thank you for being so active, sharing your opinions and your questions. And now, please quickly vote. We want to know your feedback. Did you like it? And please feel free to reach out to us, both to me, Simon, Luis, Alex, and Yulia, and probably you have some questions. Don't hesitate to ask them on LinkedIn or contact us via our website. And if you have some ideas, one I already have in mind, right? Luis shared for the next webinars. We are open for that. Eva, thanks a lot for inspiration. Thank you. You inspire us as well for the next webinars. So thank you so much, guys. We will share the recording shortly tomorrow, I think, or like in a couple of days. And let's grow together and let's stay in touch. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.